Buccaneers. They raised the banner just a moment ago. We are set for football at Lumen Field here a mile south of downtown Seattle.
Two teams that came into the NFL together back in 1976. The Seahawks and Bucs are underway.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Off of play action, Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
As it complete to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Going right back to Smith-Njigba. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The big Vita Vea pushing his way through to wind up with a sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Mayfield. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Oregon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Irving.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Buccaneers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Play action. It's Darnold. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really They've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a fourth down.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Myers' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
He might be being set up here for a busy ball game. Already 2 kicks here in the first quarter, and he's knocked both through the posts.
And for now, you know they'll be happy getting those 3 points, but what they really want is to find a way for him to kick extra points instead of field goals.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive.
In motion left, Godwin.
Mayfield looks to throw.
And there's a short one taken in by Otten.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing, Mayfield.
Finding Otten once more.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They need 2. Here's third down. They'll try and run here with Irving. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down at 7.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Play fake. Mayfield.
And this one caught downfield by Evans.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 40 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and the lead is up to 8. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. 15 yards is the pick up there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Back to Walker on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Faking the give, Darnold. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. They'll try for the first with Walker. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
Walker trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd and goal from the 1. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Walker. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kenneth Walker taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks have cut the lead back down to 2. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. Now a 3rd and 6. Mayfield down. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep is Steven Sims. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Darnold now to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Logan Hall fighting through and dropping him for the sack.
They snapped the ball backed up inside their own 10. Now they're backed up even further, and they can thank their coverage for that. They called the zone, and they were aggressive enough to deny an early window, and that gave their rushers a chance to get to the pocket.
Off of play action, Darnold on the move to his left. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
Darnold.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon.
The Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield.
Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Mayfield to throw it.
Right back to Chris Godwin.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Mayfield with it once more. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 52 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. Now they bring a receiver in motion right.
Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now Darnold. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jackson Smith-Njigba from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks have retaken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as it used to be, huh?
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 4.
To throw, Mayfield.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? In motion, the tight end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Back to throw, Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To the right side, this is Walker. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now it's Darnold. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second down and 8. Here's Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw is Darnold. Walker with a grab, left side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
This 2nd and 4. And Walker has it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 6 now. Here's Darnold. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 32-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Myers' kick is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. 1 second, all that remains. Final play of the half, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. And the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the 3rd quarter. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bucs offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. What a quick start to the drive, but not for the team that really needed it. In only a few seconds, the opposing QB found himself on the turf, and the defense is celebrating 2nd and long.
Mayfield looks to throw. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now Mayfield. Finding Otten once more. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Here's Walker to start the drive. Shedding the tackle. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
On the counter, it's Walker. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Darnold from the gun. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Darnold now to throw. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. They'll give him 4 yards there. And 3rd and 8 now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Throwing, Mayfield. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Uchenna Nwosu picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Mayfield to throw it. He completes it to Evans. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Mayfield down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Baker going to give it to Irving. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs have cut it back within a score. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Off of play action, Darnold. And he will slide to a halt with a penalty marker down on the play. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter, despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Now Darnold. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Darnold. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw, Darnold. That is caught. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the head. Why not go back to him? He has something going real. The guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Faking the give, Darnold. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he is in for the Seattle. Fant from 19 yards away. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes this a 9-point game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion. To throw, Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Evans has it left side. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around. This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Yaya Diaby. He's the one who got in there. He gets the sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one goes underneath to Walker. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Mayfield. Being chased out left. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Darnold. Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
And going right back to Walker. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Smith and Jigba in motion right. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
A give for Walker running right, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call him for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. The tight end in motion right. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And a catch right side by Evans. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A run up the middle with Irving. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Here's Mayfield. That is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
They go play action. Mayfield. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Going to the air again with Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Evans. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
In motion goes the tight end. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him point.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Josh Jobe. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And what a tough spot for this defense, because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Walker with it. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Try to take this home. They'll run. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So Mayfield and the Bucs down by 12. A little under a minute to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Mayfield. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
This is 1st and 10. Here's Baker. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Clock at 30 seconds. 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you've often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Mayfield to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it. So the victory here for Seattle. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.